everybody. This is Jeff Gable. He's our August Associate Spotlight for Adafio. Thank you for joining me on this call. It's great to have a little bit of connection, even though we're all virtual most of the time, but we can still make do with videos. Jeff, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, as you know, my name's Jeff Gable, and I'm married to a wonderful woman named Kim, and we got 3 kids between us, Blake, Wynn, and Mo. Morgan, we call her Mo for short. Went to school at UCA, went there on a football scholarship, studied meteorology and geography while I was there. You know, during my time of playing football there, we enjoyed some tremendous success and won a couple of national championships. And
how long have you worked for Adafio? Tell me a little bit about what you do and what drew you to this profession.
All right. Well, I've been here. I'm 16 years, going on my 17th year, and you know, I've always had a interest in computers and networking since college a little bit. The only profession that has more acronyms in the military is IT. So I started working get my MCSC. I was able to go through and pass my test, and then I thought I had the world by the tail, and I took my first job, and I started realizing I don't really know as much as I think I know. But it's a learning experience every day for an engineer. I mean, you're learning stuff every single day. My first job, and that I was anything related to computers, I was working with a guy. He was also their chief engineer, and he took a computer apart, put it out on the table. He goes, "Put this back together and come get me when you're done." I said, "If you can do that, you probably have the aptitude for this." Put it all back together, and I had everything right but the floppy cable, because it goes on either way, so it was 50-50. Best thing I've ever done. Golf is probably number one thing. Everybody knows me, knows I love to play golf. Pretty much addicted to it. And one of my favorites is one of the toughest courses I've ever played is Mystic Creek down in El Dorado. It could hold a U.S. Open. I mean, it's that tough and nice of a course.
If you could spend the day with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Well, you know, it's funny because most people would look at me and think I'm some sports person or something. But I did think about this 2 ways. Like, okay, who would I want to be intellectual, and who would I just have fun with? Of all people, Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice is probably one of the most down-to-earth, well-rounded people I've ever seen speak. And her ability to understand so many subjects, I mean, from politics to science to nature to sports. I mean, she was nominated for the first conference championship series. She was on that committee, and that's unusual for a woman in politics to be pulled into that. But if you ever get a chance to hear her speak, she's pretty impressive. You know, the way she carries herself, I mean, boy, she'd make a great president. Dig in respect. She'd bring it back to the office.
Who or what inspires you?
One of the things that really makes me happy is seeing the good come out in people when they do something nice for somebody. You know, I watched a video here just the other day where it was like in Siberia someplace. I mean, and these guys were rescuing horses that fell through a thing of ice. And they worked because, I mean, it was dangerous. They could fall in, and they were using tractors and all these things, trying to figure out how to get these horses out of this water hole. But, you know, seeing people do things like that, you know, and just helping other people is really, that's what inspires me.
It's evident even more now, wouldn't you say, with going through this pandemic, we've really exposed a lot of areas of weakness, but you also see areas of strength and perseverance and goodness, people connecting and
very much
helping one another out.
Mm-hmm. You know,
do you have any stories about quarantine and what it's taught you during this time?
The world's a very small place.
Yeah.
It used to be a big place. And so it's a lot smaller place. And, you know, this pandemic has really let us know that something that happens in China will come over here. You know, we're one big macro system of the world now. We're completely connected with the computers, with the air traffic. We are absolutely connected.
So everyone at Adafio has a story of why they joined the team, and this is an opportunity for you to tell your story.
Well, that's kind of wild, because I was at a crossroads, and I started really wanting to get into the field and do some more, you know, intense work. And Adafio, I found it right across them, and I put my resume in there and went through a couple of interviews, and went back for my final interview, and I actually had a choice there, and I think it was Axiom I basically was getting ready to offer me a job, and I really didn't want to go to Axiom. Yeah, after my interview at Adafio, I was very impressed with the people that worked here. I was impressed with the vision of outsourced IT and the MSP models we know it now. It was quite amazing, how that all transpired. I took the job at Adafio, never looked back. I know I made the right choice. I mean, I'm working around some of the greatest engineers and people that I've ever worked with. I mean, my best three bosses have been 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's been crazy. Everyone here truly cares about the client. They care about the client's success. They share knowledge. We got such a great culture of, humility and respect, as part of our core values. We just try to do the right thing. It's hard to find people that want to do the right thing sometimes. And it makes this job even more difficult because as an engineer, you're not just an engineer, you're also a communicator. You're also, you're an ear. I mean, you're going to lend an ear to them in their time of need. You're almost become a psychologist at times. But
I call you technology therapists.
Yes, technology therapy. That's good.
Right. And I've used IT with EQ. So you guys have this emotional intelligence that you deal with in the IT world.
And one thing's for sure is I'm very honored to be working along with all the guys and girls and ladies at Adafio. It's such a fantastic place to work.
If you could tell somebody that's just coming out of school or re-careering, what would you want them to know about Adafio or just about working as an engineer?
Well, I've had that conversation with several kids, my kids, our kids, and their friends. I've always encouraged them to grasp the cloud because the cloud is going to be here for a while. If you can get into it and understand how to manage those technologies, and you'll have a job for the rest of your life that you'll love. I see it going down very quickly. It'll be all cloud within 10 years. Yeah. We'll have very few servers on our sites. Absolutely. And 365, that's an evolving. I mean, it changes. I mean, it's the names and new products come in. You're like, oh, there's a new. What's that? It just came in today. I mean, it's a constantly evolving technology, and they're working hard to meet the business needs of their clients. And I think it's definitely the wave of the next 20 years, anyway.
Yeah. So we'll end with, if you had one core message to share with the world, what would it be?
Simple. Be kind to one another. That takes care of everything. And anyway, when you're new and you're going out to a new client or you're new to Adafio, you're very nervous. You're worried about everything. But there's a quote: worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but doesn't get you anywhere. So
That's right.
Don't worry about it. Just go out there and do your job, and everything will take care of itself.
Jeff, you are such a pleasure. I hope to get to hang out with you in Little Rock at some point in the near future. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to meet. And again, congratulations on our August Associate Spotlight.
Thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate it.